goals to penalties is about to be redefined.
I mean, let me tell you, you look around here, first of all, every hockey rink you've been in has had a roof on it. We don't have a roof for obvious reasons. We're at the beach, on the sand. No, the sand doesn't sneak through the bottom of this. These guys, it's top-notch all the way. The big difference, there's a ramp behind both nets. And the great players use that not only for passing and for shooting, but for speed. It's a game of speed because there's no whistles. The little guys dominate out here.
However, Danny, there has always been one constant in the great game of hockey, and that is the characters of the game. And you've located this year's odd couple.
We've got two of them in this game between the Gargoyles and the Dog Pack. Rob Harmer from the Dog Pack is one of the leaders. However, the leader of the Gargoyles is a guy named Andy Rimshaw. I saw Andy 5 minutes ago, and he said, Dan, listen to me. You know, I room on the road with Rob Harmer, the Hammer. They call him the Hammer because he weighs 240. Andy Rimshaw, weighed 225. There's money on the line. There's pride on the line. Friendship, throw it out because something has got to give. I don't want to be in the middle of those two at all.
Indeed. In fact, a little bit heavier than Felix and Oscar, if I remember correctly.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, now for the lighter side of the game. Let's go to the third person in. Ellen Weinberg is standing by. Ellen?
Thanks, guys. You caught me. No, I'm not at the rink. I'm back behind the grandstands at the interactive park where the kids can try on the V-formation skates and try their own luck at the ramps right here. Now, this is a great training ground for Pro Beach hockey, and if they're not into the hockey thing, you'll probably find them at the X Games in a few years. I'm having so much fun out here, you guys are just going to have to do the game without me. I'll be back in a while.
Ellen will be back with more during the course of the game. Meanwhile, here is the thumbnail sketch of the PBH rulebook. 4 8-minute quarters, stop time only in the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Dome zone scoring, that's the 30-foot arc extended from the goal line, 1 point inside, 2 points outside. There is no penalty box, but there are 5 team fouls. After the fifth one, look out, a penalty shot. 4 face-offs in the game. When tied at the end of regulation, a 3-man shootout. Tied after the shootout, they'll go to a 5-man sudden death. All right, we are set for the drop of the ball as Andy Rimshaw leads the Gargoyles against Chris Nelson and the Dog Pack. Play underway. Rimshaw with a shot right off the draw that caroms over the top of the three-quarter glass and up into the crowd. We immediately get a free drop. 2 free drop semicircles along the right wing boards. Long shot, Barahona. Toe save. Just inside his own crease by James Jensen. Back the other way it comes Rimshaw, taking on the Dog Pack defense. Nice blind feet on the backhand. Try to hit the man driving in on the far side, but it was just out of the reach of Matt Mullen. Peek over the shoulder. Mullen looking for Rimshaw. Threw it right into the logo, and we get a quick whistle and a stoppage in play. Free out for the Dog Pack.
And now you saw Rimshaw take that shot, and as he took the shot, being offensive, he also took out Chris Nelson, the leader of the Dog Pack. Rimshaw does everything extremely well. Shoots, scores, passes, hits. He's aggressive. He's an all-around player.
There's another good player right there. Ross Harris hooked to the ice. No penalty called as, again, it's sent back up the court and along the left wing boards it comes. Way out of the net, Steve Vezina will play. We're just a minute deep into this scoreless duel between the Dog Pack in blue and the Gargoyles in their home whites.
One of our favorite goalies in the league, Steve Vezina. Great name
for a goaltender. As look at that opportunity there for Keith Berard denied as falling out to make the save was James Jensen. Slap shot taken. Whistling shot by Ross Harris just missed its mark.
One heck of a save down both ends of the court.
Along the near boards. Ball is cycled back into the corner. Aaron Feed near side. Lefebvre cuts over. Denny Lefebvre gets lined up and dropped to the ice on a big open hit by the Hammer.
Keep your heads up, guys, because the Hammer's playing. Oh, the Hammer just puts out one more guy. And who is it? Simon Bibeau.
I don't know if we can catch it, but the referee just went over and picked up the butt end of a stick. That hit by the Hammer was so hard that it actually knocked the butt end of the stick out of the player's hands. And there's 2 minutes gone here in a scoreless first quarter.
The Hammer is nothing but a solid hit every place he goes in the ice.
Well, you talk about the Hammer. He said that by the end of this tournament, he wants to be known as the most feared player on the court.
You know what? He may be already. They see this guy in the locker room with his shaved head and his ex-CFL football body. I don't care what kind of hockey player you are. You're thinking, oh, my God, I don't want him to hit me.
We have a delayed call for interference. And keep in mind, fans, as we pointed out at the top of the show, this coming with 5.5 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter, that unlike regulation hockey, these are fouls, not penalties. And for each foul that a team racks up, you get a free shot from the top of the dome zone, that 30-foot pink arc. One-time shot, they score. Simon Bibeau.
Upstairs on Vezina. Vezina went down into the butterfly. I got to tell you, that shot from 30 feet just was whistled for that corner. He never had a chance. And you'd think he would from 30 feet out, but that shot was so well placed and so hard, never had a shot at it.
So Simon Bibeau, a last-minute addition for the Gargoyles, leaves his mark on the first free shot from the top of the dome zone. It's a 1-0 game in favor of the Gargoyles. Oh, again, side of the net. They are just buzzing about it. Andy Rimshaw has been a force to be reckoned with.
And Rimshaw was just standing there all by himself. First of all, you can't leave Rimshaw alone because he's too big, he's too good. Second of all, Mullen was left alone on the other side of the net. The defense for the dog pack just completely broke down. You can't do that. You can't leave Vezina all alone by himself. He's a target out there.
There will be a free drop along the far wing boards. Andy Rimshaw will be the man working out of the semicircle. Look at him hit the cutter. Down the wing it comes, and just like that, bang, bang, one-timer to Ross Harris, and just like that, it is 3-0 in favor of the Gargoyles.
And that shows you the importance of constant movement in pro beach hockey because the ball's taken out in the half circle. He sees his man breaking. The dog pack is not with him. All of a sudden, the guy's wide open. You got to keep moving in this sport. Have to.
So as you can tell, Steve Vezina has been rocked early in this game, and we'll be back with more from Huntington Beach, California. You're watching PBH here on ESPN2. And there he is right there. James Jensen has been staked to a 3-0 lead.
He's had one shot on net. He's had nothing to do out there except catch a suntan.
But here's a guy that can get this club fired up in a hurry. Nelson will send back the other way, and up court it comes. Quick shot taken inside the net. Jocelyn Langlois tried to go upstairs and missed. Give and go Mullen looking for the crumbs out of the corner. Can't find it. And along the near boards again, here comes Barahona. He winds, he shoots, and catching that one flush in the logo. James Jensen wants a whistle and a free out for the Gargoyles.
And you know, you're hoping that doesn't happen so early.
Oh, bell ringer.
So early in the second quarter. But you know, Barahona on that last attempt. I better stop on that right there. But that's a 2-point goal to give him credit for. On the play on the other end, Barahona had no angle at all, but you know, they're down 3-0. Now they're down 5-0. They're pressing. There was no shot there for Ralph. He shouldn't have taken that. Go around the back of the net, either use your ramp out to your point or get some speed up and make a quick cut to the front. He didn't do that. Took a bad shot. Right away, the play turns around. 2-point goal for the Gargoyles. It's 5-0.
Shots taken from outside the 30-foot dome result in a 2-point goal. So Rimshaw with a 1-pointer and now with a 2-pointer. Did you see that move by Nelson?
Great play. Gets it, picks it up off his stick into his glove just to get possession of it and moves it out. He doesn't hold it, doesn't palm it, because that's illegal.
We are approaching the 2-minute mark of this opening quarter. Keep in mind, it is running time. 3 8-minute quarters. In the fourth 8-minute quarter, it is stop time in the final 2 minutes. Again, buzzing about the net. Steve Vezina has to come up big with 1:30 to go in the quarter. Trailing 5-0, a whistle behind the play and a stoppage will await the referee's call. Bring it back to the top of the circle.
Now, once again, I want to keep in mind what Barahona just did in the last time that they were down on ice. They missed a shot, had a bad shot. Gargoyles come back and score. Now they're down 5-0. You got to keep your eye on the dog pack. Are they going to press? If they start pressing so early in the second quarter, you're not even halftime yet. You have too many guys breaking down in defense already. All of a sudden, if you have 4 guys up front, the Gargoyles are going to have a field day on Vezina. He'll be seeing balls in his sleep tonight.
Dennis Lefebvre with a free shot, and look at that rocket. Karams high off the glass, and back the other way they come. Give and go, Harmer. Gets off a shot well wide. Rides the ramp outside the surface. We will get a brief stoppage in play. Free out for the Gargoyles. They lead 5-0. 3 points thus far here in the first quarter for Rimshaw. 1 apiece for Harris and Bibeau.
Dennis Lefebvre is a guy who a lot of you hockey players out there will know the name. In 1996 and 97, the U.S. Olympic Committee named him Player of the Year in the U.S. The guy can play hockey, as you can tell from that shot.
Simon Bibeau out of the corner. Picked up there trying to clear the zone. Gord Schmidt cannot get it outside the dome zone. Hard around right wing boards. Medea will cut over to it. He's got a little bit of time, but quickly he's picked up by Wilson indeed.
Nice passing.
Oh, tremendous cross-side speed. They got a man driving up the middle. There's Harmer on the doorstep, and it just rolled off the end of his stick.
Hummer's a guy who throws the body around. He may not be an offensive threat.
Back the other way with time winding down. Moving in on goal, trying to go upstairs. Quick shot taken by Johan Englund. Just caught the pipe. 30 seconds remaining in this first quarter.
And was a dog pack fortunate on that play or not? When he went up behind the goal, if that net didn't move, there was two gargoyles point blank, 20 feet out with the ball on their stick.
They're looking for a home run here off the carom. Good stick work, though, by Jensen to clear it back out to center court. Opportunity again from two-point range. Along the near board. Centering pass is gobbled up by Matt Mullen, and with that, it was a first quarter dominated by the Gargoyles.
But very important, what you just saw at the end, you saw the dog pack starting to use the ramp to their advantage. Send the ball down all the way, get a shot on goal, use the ramp, use the glass above it, make that become part of your offensive form. You got to do it because you got to get back in the game one goal at a time. Forget the long two-goal shots. You guys have a half a game left and a lot of catching up to do.
Indeed, it is a 5-0 Gargoyle lead after the first quarter. When we return, second quarter face-off. You're watching PBH here on ESPN2. You standing by, Ellen?
Hey, Jason, what are you doing here? This is an off day for you.
I know. I just thought I'd go for a little bit of a swim and go back and check out a little bit of the competition.
Now, as a member of the Web Warriors, shouldn't you be, like, online or in tune or something?
Well, we go home after this, of course, and get online, but it's just nice to come down in the sunshine and play a little hockey and do a little swimming and hang out.
Absolutely. Where else can you go for a swim and watch some hockey? Only in Pro Beach Hockey.
Along with Dan Moriarty, Chris Mattson calling the action here from Huntington Beach, California. Second quarter action and a lot of catch-up hockey lying ahead of the dog pack.
But there's a lot of time. They cannot press. With 2-point goals in this sport, they can come back in 2 minutes. You see the pace of the game. You see how fast these guys can be out there. Smart hockey, smart play, smart ball play, good control. Do not break down defensively and give them a cheap goal by pressing too hard. You're back in.
Odd man opportunity, though, favoring the Gargoyles as they bring it back the other way. Shovel feet out front, looking for Rimshaw, and did he ever lower the boom from behind on Chris Nelson?
Second time today already that Rimshaw has taken Nelson out. Both times Rimshaw's hit him, Rimshaw has been on the offensive attack.
Slap shot taken as Butter blew out a tire. Did you see that at the top of the dome?
Right down. I'm wondering if something's wrong. Once again, the wheels. They're all checking their wheels every single time out. Every game they're changing. Which ones work? The white ones, the green ones, the pink ones, the red ones. Because they all have different consistency. Which one's going to take? The problem is you don't know what's going to take on a certain day because the weather always changes. It's a guessing game.
1 minute gone in the second quarter.
He can shoot.
Moving in over the line. Berard looks. He shoots. Trying to go opposite way and flashing that right pad out with a fine save was goaltender James Jensen.
Great quick leg. Great leg.
You know, the Gargoyles felt that after round 2 of the tournament, they needed a little bit of help, a little bit more firepower, and obviously Chris McSorley has given them a winning ingredient here today.
The nice thing about it, Chris McSorley has every team categorized through numbers to make sure they all come out with equal. Where the players are ranked 7, 6, 5, 4, and so on. And what he wanted to do is make sure that all 6 teams had a chance to win it. And he did that. Simon Bibeau, of course, the first guy he's added to the Gargoyles in this round. He delivers right away in that 30-foot penalty shot.
Thing is, you know, you got to wonder, the dog pack seemed to be rocked on their wheels a little bit in that first quarter because, let's face it, the Gargoyles had a very simple strategy. Throw everything but the kitchen sink at these guys in the first 8 minutes.
Yeah, they did. And what happens then is that when they're throwing it at them, the dog pack gets caught in a transition game. You saw 2 of their goals. Forget the penalty shot, of course, but the penalty shot was also caused on something similar. They're getting caught up court, and there's too many outnumbered attacks. I mean, their third goal, their third single-point goal, there was 3 guys in front of the poor goaltender and no one there to help them. 3 guys, it's a 4-on-4 game. You can't have that.
Gargoyles have looked poised at both ends of the surface. Ironically, It was the Dog Pack who outshot the Gargoyles in that opening quarter by a margin of 7-6.
And once again, that happens when you're down by goals. You take long shots, so you give them that long shot, so they outshoot you. It all matters on the scoreboard. There you go again.
Did you see that? Miscommunication, and look out, the Dog Pack pays dearly. 3 minutes into the second quarter.
And there was, once again, 2 guys in the Dog Pack back there in the slot to cover up in the front. They missed the one guy.
Dennis Lefevre with the rocket on the one-timer. It is now a 6-0 Gargoyles lead in the second quarter. Ball leaves the surface, free out in the drop zone. Good shot of the bowl here in Huntington Beach. Black surface, coated with a solution of cola and water to allow the players to perhaps get a little better grip rather with the V formation wheels that they're losing. And look out here. There you see Rimshaw. He just shattered his stick in half on that blast.
And then, did you see him as he went across? He lost his stick. One of the Dog Pack goes by. He has no stick in his hand. Takes both hands. Whoa, let's put this guy down. Make sure he knows I'm around.
Composite shafted stick shattered in half.
Of course, he got called for it. So here's something that the Dog Pack can use to their advantage. It's unfortunate. It's a bad play by Rimshaw. You can't go jack someone in the head in the middle of the play when no one's around watching you. So here they go. They get a free shot. Rob Medea. This guy, All-American Division II. Led the nation in scoring. Goes high. That's something they've got to use that to their advantage. You have a 30-foot shot. Got to get something on the scoreboard. You're just down by 6. You got to get it going again.
You got to believe that with every minute that passes by, and James Jensen just continues to grow more and more confident in goal for the Gargoyles.
Yeah.
There's 3:30 left in this first half, Danny. With the score, 6-0 Gargoyles again. Rob Harris, former professional. There you see him jet skiing right past his man. Little tug to the midsection that gives him enough momentum to glide past the man. And now again, the Gargoyles will cue it up from center court. Slap shot in on goal. Fine save there.
Rimshaw with a long shot, making sure this stick doesn't break in half. Let's just try it out.
We have a timeout on the floor. So as time winds down on this first half, the score, 6-0 Gargoyles on top of the Dog Pack. We'll be back with more PBH from Huntington Beach, California, right after this on ESPN2. We are back to action here in Huntington Beach, California. Round 3 of the PBH. Barahona double-teamed off the ball along the backboards. Minute 30 to go in the first half. Wilson on a give and go. There's the shot. They score. Lefevre taking the one-timer from just inside the dome zone. It's a 1-point goal and a 7-0 Gargoyle lead.
Quick turnaround. That shows you how to do a 2-on-1. It just changed momentum. It's so simple. But once again, when you're down by 6 or 7 goals now, you just start pressing.
Lefevre with a pair of goals here in the first half. Robbie Harris cherry picking at center court, moves in on the breakaway. Deeks, he shoots up high, and a blocker save. A fine one by Steve Vezina.
And look who we beat in the one-on-one. That is going to be something that after this game will be talked about. Rob Medea and Ross Harris are partners in a company here called Sure Shot. You see the referees' uniforms? Their company makes them. They make sweatsuits for hockey players. So these guys have equal stake in the company. But on that one, I think Ross Harris just took an extra little claim away from his partner because he made him look like a fool.
Tremendous opportunity there for Justin Langlois on the doorstep. Another chance here, whistling one just wide of the mark was Rob Medea. Chris Nelson pinching in deep now, trying to force the issue offensively. Wheels flashing along the ramp, hard around near side. 10 seconds remaining here in the half. At center court, quick whistle sounds, and with that, we'll get a stoppage in play. But you gotta believe Dog Pack are gonna discuss strategy and regrouping. Let's see how they come out when we return with the third quarter faceoff. 7-0 Gargoyles at the half. You're watching PBH on ESPN2. Time here at Huntington Beach. 00 Soul entertaining the crowd here at the Bowl. And you know, this facility was named the Bowl because of its unique ramps on either end. And that'll bring us to the subject of our Lee Dungaree's halftime report. You know, some of our competitors here had prior experience on ramps, but the majority did not.
In order to prepare for these games, a few of the guys worked things out at a local skate park, discovering what they could and couldn't do and how the ramp would affect the game.
I think it's going to be cool, like you said. You're going full blast at the net and trying to score a goal, and instead of crashing into the boards or pulling up for ice hockey, you'd have to stop, but you can't stop with rollerblades. So going up the ramp is going to be the best thing. It's going to be amazing because you can actually drive as hard as you want to the net and not worry about having to crash into the boards. It's going to be awesome.
I think the ramps are pretty dangerous. This is good that we came out here, get some work. It's going to be a show. It's made for TV. It's going to be fun getting up on those ramps, see what you can do. It's going to be definitely a creativity battle. Yeah, we'll get up there pretty high, still make the plays from behind the net there. The ball gets off the glass, comes back in front. It's going to be fun behind the net. It's going to be fun.
Well, it's just going to tie in everything, extreme skating, roller hockey, everything inline. It's going to tie it all together and hopefully make it just one heck of a game. So we'll see.
Well, we already know it because those interviews were taken prior to the game played here in the bowl, and it hasn't taken long for these guys to get very proficient on the ramps. Let's go now to Ellen, who's standing courtside. Ellen?
Thanks, guys. I'm with Rob, the Hammer Harmer, and this is not the type of day you'd like to have after 2. You're down by 7. What's going on out there?
I don't know what's going on out there. I don't think we're getting to the ball fast enough. We're not winning the small battles in the corners. We need to hit a little bit better. We need to control the ball more. We need to get more shots on net. We're going to be coming out the second half, and we're going to get after it.
So you're going to turn this thing around?
Oh, we're turning this around. We're ready to get after some act.
Great. Good luck the next 2
Thank
quarters.
you.
Let's go back to you guys.
We are set for the start of the third quarter here in Huntington Beach, California, between the Dog Pack and the Gargoyles. And, they say many times that shots on goal might be one of the most misleading stats in all of hockey, and certainly so here. Dog Pack out shooting the Gargoyles 14-10 in the first half.
Chris, I can't agree with you more. The scoreboard is what matters. I just spoke with Chris Nelson, the leader, captain of the Dog Pack, and he said they didn't have enough shots. Well, guess what? They had more shots than the guys that are beating them 7-0. The problem is, what he refers to are, he doesn't have the good shots. They're taking shots either from half court, which are no good if there's no one blocking the front of the net, or these horrible angle shots. They've got to crash the net more. They got to get the little guys in there. Get Berard in front of the net. Have him cause some havoc. Make the goaltender, James Jensen, do some work, because he's playing out of his mind as of right now. He has to get some traffic in front of him.
Talk about creating havoc. Look at this combination. Langlois with Nelson driving the net. He scores from 2-point range.
Did you see that goal? Langlois had the ball. What does he do? Holds up a little bit, takes his time coming to the top of the key. Nelson fires it on goal. He's crashed the net. All of a sudden, Jensen's like, wait a minute, he's going to pass? Is Nelson going to come in and get me? He's not ready for the ball. The ball just goes right flying past him. That's what you got to do. Crash the net. Make the goalie think. We just finished saying 30 seconds ago what they had to do. Sure enough, Nelson told his players the same thing. They're on it.
Well, it's one thing to say come out with a purpose. It's another thing to deliver. And Langlois and Nelson were around the net for the entire first 30 seconds of this third quarter. And it pays off with a 2-pointer for Jocelyn Langlois. It is now a 7-2 hockey game. Gargoyles on top.
And when Nelson's your leader and he says, we're going to do this in the second half, and then he delivers, the rest of the team will get in line and follow. The goal scoring in this kind of game in PPH hockey changes so quickly. Being down 7-2 now is still nothing. As long as they can keep on.
Keep in mind, folks, there are no coaches on the bench. The captain serves a dual capacity as leader and coach. He sets up the line combinations, and attacking the other way, Gord Schmidt. So when Nelson speaks in the locker room at the half, you better be listening, or else your ice time or court time could be cut down considerably. Garvey.
Look at them use that speed. Right behind there, you see the ramp. The guys, the longer they use the ramps, the better they get at it. He went up that ramp, got some speed, left the player from the Gargoyles in the dust. What a great breakout. They've got to use that more often. That ramp is so important. It adds so much to speed of this game.
Harmer was being lined up just inside the zone by Dean Wilson. There's just over 2 minutes gone here in the third quarter.
And Harmer's still going at it. Harmer with the helmet off. Still going at it in the corner with Wilson.
Oh, with that head, I hope he has some sunscreen on underneath that helmet. Inside the dome zone, 1-point shot taken. Terrific stick save. James Jensen with an effective poke check.
but I won't tell him he should have it. If he chooses not to, that's his choice.
This is a free out. It comes either after a goal or a stoppage in play by the goaltender. The ball is dropped by the official. A 5-second count to work the ball out of the dome zone. And there's a whistler just wide of the mark by Simon Bibeau.
Bibeau loves the upper corners. He scored there once on the free shot. That one, other side, upstairs again.
Bibeau again, side of the net, buys one right back on the feed out of the corner. Tremendous effort there, and a tremendous combination showed there by Dennis Lefevre and Simon Bibeau on the finish.
You take a quick look at that. You saw it, 4 dog packs and 2 gargoyles. That should not happen. Bibeau should be on his butt at that point of the game. Got to put him down. You can't let him sit there and have a free out.
It is an 8-2 Pro Beach hockey game in favor of the Gargoyles in their home whites. 2-point range, slap shot, take it, he scores! Jocelyn Langlois putting a patent on that shot off the left wing board.
It came from the right side of the rink to the left side of the rink, and what happened again? Berard, the little guy, went to the front, got in Jensen's face. Jensen never could see that shot. Whether Berard was there or not, that shot was labeled for the backhand. That was a frozen rope.
Lazier referee Michel Voyer signaling the 2-point goal for Jocelyn Langlois, and that's the beauty of Pro Beach hockey. You can come back in a hurry if you use that 2-point goal to your advantage.
And they've used it twice now. 2 shots, 2 goals. Both times, however, somebody was in front of Jensen's face, getting in his way, not letting him see the shot, not having him have nothing in his way, blocking his view.
We'll be back with more of the third quarter. 8-4, Gargoyles on top. You're watching PBH here on ESPN2. We are back. 4:21 and ticking left here in the third quarter. 8-4 hockey game. Gargoyles on top. Chris Mattson calling the action alongside Dan Moriarty and Ellen Weinberg. And look at that. It just snuck in behind James Jensen. Nice finishing touch from behind on the goal.
And who was it? Berard, the little guy. Get him in front of the goal as often as possible. He's small. He's quick. You use him to your advantage. Sure enough, that was a great save by Jensen, but the ball just squirted loose, as balls have a tendency to do sometimes. You can't keep control of them. They roll funny.
Goal is scored at the 4-minute mark as a rocket from Nelson from 2-point range just misses its mark. This is the closest the dog pack have been in some time.
I'd say
since at the half it was 7-0 Gargoyles.
I'd say the closest it's been since they dropped the puck, dropped the ball to open the game.
Nelson on the give and go, looking down low. Berard was taken cleanly out of the play by a back-checking Ross Harris. Mullen dropped pass, nobody home but Nelson. He's got a man up court, but his pass was too far ahead of Jocelyn Langlois, and Jensen on the hard around works the hanging V to the near boards.
They have changed everything about their style of play this half. The dog pack has always had 2 guys back.
And I don't know if you're noticing it right now, Danny, but things are getting a little bit more chippy on the court.
They sure are. Bibeau just tried to take him out, and he's lucky he didn't get called for holding on that one, because they were right in front of us, and Bibeau was pulling his arm out of his socket.
3 minutes running time remaining here in the third quarter. Gargoyles leading 8-5. Pick up the ball out of the corner. Dean Wilson shovels a pass to the doorstep. It's swatted aside by a fine back-checking play by Jocelyn Langlois. Look at the hammer going shoulder to shoulder. Beaten to the puck by Lefevre.
Oh, the hammer got taken on that one, because Lefevre should not have had the size on him, which he does not have. And the thing is, Hammer also had the angle on him, but Lefevre just wanted it a lot more.
Englund to Lefevre. Good back-checking play by Richie Garvey.
And the Hammer gets Lefevre back then.
Simon Bibeau, top of the dome, shovels inside, intercepted, one-on-one confrontation. One man back, it's Englund. Down low it comes, tipping attempt by Rich Garvey, and a stick save by Jensen.
Great play by Jensen. Great play by Barahona to wait for the guy to get into the play with him. Look how fast that game just turns around. Offense to defense. You cannot take a nap in this sport.
There are no lines on the court. No red line, no blue line, no offside.
Langlois has a bullet.
Two-pointer again, rattles the crossbar.
Oh, he had an angle on that one. 2-point shot. That was marked for the upper side. Hit that crossbar.
Hard around, off the right wing boards. Picking it up near side, Keith Berard tries the net, deals to the top of the dome zone. Intercepted in an odd man situation, favoring the Gargoyles back the other way. Dean Wilson, he's got Rimshaw driving up the middle. There's the pass on the doorstep. He was steered aside by Steve Vezina. pace of this game has picked up dramatically here in the third quarter.
Nice save on that one. Berard was just cut into the net. Couldn't get there enough time. Was running out of real estate. Great play by Jensen.
Nelson likes to bring it from this point range. There it is. The shot just whistles wide. Karams off the far wing. Minute to go in the third quarter. Back the other way. Rimshaw's wrist shot is blocked at the defense. Way out of the net comes Vezina. Quick exchange, transition back the other way. Sizing up the defense. Jocelyn Langlois, one-time shot. Nelson, he scores! 2-point range!
Did you see that play? A great play by the goaltender Vezina to bring the ball out almost to the top of the goal dome. Gives it off. 2-on-2 over here. Nelson cuts behind and set up for the shot. A great drop pass. It was all set there just for that. The goaltender made the play happen, however, in his own zone. Give him an assist.
It came with 38 seconds left in the quarter. Nelson, a two-pointer. We've got an 8-7 hockey game on our hands here. And you got to wonder when the quarter ends what exactly Andy Rimshaw is going to be saying to his players.
I'm telling you, whatever they talked about, which we highlighted at the highlight of the second half, they're doing out there. But boy, for these players to come back from 7-0 and make sure they revamp that quick is a great thing for the Dogpack.
And did Vezina just come up huge on that opportunity? Out of the corner it comes. Look at Jensen. Aggressively go into the corner. He knocks his man Ralph Barahona off his blades, and with that we get a stoppage in play. And check it out. It was 7-0 Gargoyles at the half. They now cling to a one-goal game.
That nice little wrap you saw from Jensen in the corner. It was probably a little bit of frustration, letting up 7 points on 3 2-pointers and 1 1-pointer in that quarter. So he went over, Jensen did, and said, okay, Barahona, a little shot to the arm there, a little shot to the leg. He was a little upset with himself. You can't let that in 1 quarter, but you got to give the Dogpack a lot of credit. They are flying right now.
I'll tell you right now, Danny, whatever Chris Nelson said to his hockey club, he should bottle it and sell it, because whatever it was, it worked. When we return, fourth quarter action, the final 8 minutes of this one is going down to the wires between the Dogpack and the Gargoyles. You're watching the PBH here on ESPN2.
Beach hockey is designed to be a street-friendly game. And for more on that story, go to Ellen Weinberg, who's standing by. Ellen?
Thanks. I'm joined by Chris McSorley, the commissioner of Pro Beach Hockey. And Chris, I've got a puck in my hand. You've got a ball in your hand. You decided to go with the ball for Pro Beach Hockey. Why is that?
Well, you want to be able to take the game from the cul-de-sac to the court, and what it enables a player to do. Not to have to go through players, it allows them to go over players. It changes the dynamics of the sport. Now guys can go up to their opponent instead of having to go through them. Again, they just pop the ball over, and again, it really adds a new dimension to the sport.
And obviously, it's working well for those players. You see a lot of those balls in the back of the net.
Well, it has. When you shoot from the 2-goal line, actually these players are so skilled they can actually make the ball curve and dip. So these goalies, this ball is their nightmare.
Great, thanks for joining us. We'll let you get back to the fun.
Thank you.
Let's go back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Ellen. We are set for the fourth quarter face-off, and there's Chris Nelson, who made a big mark in the waning moments of that third quarter. He was just upended from behind as the captains go toe-to-toe. Rimshaw is going to be nabbed for holding.
You know, he shouldn't be doing that right off the face-off. That's just lack of discipline. Sure, 7 goals are scored on you in the third quarter. It's an 8-7 game from 7-0. You're losing a little bit, but you don't go out and grab the other captain, the other centerman, Nelson, right in front of everybody to see.
Chance to tie it up here on the gimme shot from the top of the dome zone. He winds, he fakes, he chips up. Look at that! He just lofted it over top of the goaltender. James Jensen bit. He moved out towards the top of the dome zone, and Nelson just volleyed it over top of his extended glove.
That was one heck of a play. Chris Nelson has been working on that, I'm sure, in his basement. Caught him all off guard. Are they giving him credit? They sure are. It's a tied-up game. Now, if the Gargoyles are smart, they'll get it right now down to Rimshot. There you go. That's the play you want, because you catch the Dogpack off guard, get it down here, get a shot on net, because the Dogpack was too busy celebrating their goal.
Right now, there's a heated conversation going on between Michel Voyer and Chris Nelson. They are going to rule that you cannot fake on the free shot from the dome zone. And from all indications, he may be getting hit here with a technical.
Or it's a timeout. from this distance, I can't really tell. He may be just saying timeout right now. Let's talk it over. Let's let cooler heads prevail. Let's not lose this game right now. It's an 8-7 game or 8-8 game, depending on what they call. So you have both captains in there right now, Nelson and Rimshaw, both referees, chatting this over. This goal is very important, of course, because it's a tie game. Or not. Let's find out what they're going to give him.
Well, the discussion continues, and you would have to think that by the body language of Chris Nelson, it is not going to count.
So plays back on, and look what happens right away. Send it past long there to Barahona. They almost tied up anyways. In pro beach hockey, you've got to always be in the game. You cannot get your senses get ahead of you because, you know, the ball's always going. There is no stoppage in time. People are going. You start arguing with somebody, yelling at a teammate, yelling at an opposing player. All of a sudden, they have a 2-on-0, 3-on-0 against you.
Nelson's shot thwarted at the defense. Back out to center corner comes. Look at Nelson try to weave his way through traffic. And a stiff shoulder was thrown into him, knocking him right off his blades. As at the top of the arc, there was Johan Englund to lower the boom.
Nelson is a one-man crew right now. He's playing offense, defense. Here he's two-point shot, pass off to Barahona.
Oh, look at that! Oh! Just set wide on an open net.
What a great play by Jensen just to get in the way. Whether he got a piece of it or not, I couldn't tell from here, but a great play. But once again, it's Nelson is all over this.
Fast and furious, they score! Ralph Barahona with a blast from just inside the dome zone, and now we are officially tied at 8.
Nelson picks up on the boards, throws it across Barahona, puts it through his own legs, turns and wheels, and fires it through the 5-hole on Jensen. What a game this has become. What looked like a blowout has now become a classic.
Gargoyles led 7-0 at the half. Dogpack came back with 7 goals in the third quarter. They come up with the first one here to tie the game. So the comeback mounted behind a pair of 2-pointers by Langlois, another 2-pointer by Nelson, single markers for Ralph Barahona and for Keith Berard.
And I got to tell you, it's all been Nelson's leadership. He has been all over the court. He's been all over the bench. He's talking to everybody, barking. Great play. As I'm saying, Harris comes down and puts Gargoyles back on top.
Robbie Harris has always been a money player. He's the guy you want the ball in his hands in a money situation, and Harris just went the length of the court and converts for his second of the game. And once again, Gargoyles on top by a goal.
In fact, you talk about him being a money ball player. This past year, the WPHL in Texas, he led the league with 101 points and was an all-star. So the guy knows how to put it in 101 points in a 40-game season. You know where the net is.
Mike Butters sends back up court, intercepted just outside the dome zone of the Dogpack, and here comes the hammer. Wide side feed, Mullen on the back check, and Matt Mullen will send ahead. Slap shot taken, Rimshaw looking for a 2-pointer, and it sails all the way back inside his own zone.
That was a bullet.
It has been a very spirited effort. And we get a timeout on the floor with the score 9-8 Gargoyles. We'll be back with more of the PBH. You're watching PBH action on ESPN2. The Dogpack, they'll have to go the full court. Trailing by 1. They send up the left wing boards. Englund takes the body and takes the ball out of the corner. Man wide open, top of the dome zone, give it away. Langlois tries to get off a shot. Here's a 2-pointer. They score! The drop pass collected by Barahona, and he rockets a 2-pointer to give the Dogpack their first lead of the game.
That's their 4th 2-point goal, all in the second half, and they've done them all from the better angles that they were shooting at in the first half. They have just revamped everything in their game from half to half. Pro beach hockey. You can't give up on it. This game is non-stop action.
Well, how can you give up on it? That shot by Barahona results in the 4th 2-pointer of this half for the Dogpack.
The Dogpack has decided to get a guy in front like Nelson said they would. Make sure you get in front of Jensen's face, disrupt him, and take those shots.
Another 2-pointer just outside the arc. Keith Berard with his second and third points of the game, and the Dog Pack have blown open their biggest lead. They lead by 3.
The little guys in Pro Beach hockey, I'm telling you, have a huge advantage. I don't think Jensen even saw Berard take that shot. Maybe he was screened by his own player. Berard's a little guy. That was a cannon right through the 5-hole.
Nelson uses that big frame to his advantage.
Now it's just throw the ball in the corner and keep it out of your own zone. Do not worry. They have 4 big guys out there playing for the Dog Pack. 1 guy up front. 3 guys back.
Danny inside a minute and a half to play, and did you see the hammer lower the boom there? He just rocked his man, Ross Harris, right off his skates, and here comes Rimshaw. These two are going to go. These two are going to go. We talked about it.
Beginning of the game, best friends and roommates, but guess what? When it comes down to this, Rimshaw himself said, we're big boys, something's going to give. And sure enough, something gave when you're down, when you're up 7-0, and all of a sudden you're down 12-9 with under a minute left in the game.
Somebody must have left a dirty dish in the sink. They've seen just about enough. So the roommates, I hope they got ice in the freezer, separated by the officials. And once again, they restore order here at the Bowl in Huntington Beach, but both evidently are going to be escorted to the respective locker room.
And of course, you know, the beach has that laid-back Southern California attitude. Guess what? It's not laid back when you're out there playing the game. It's competitive. These guys want to win. There's pride on the line. There's a trophy on the line. There's money on the line.
We don't reach the level of professionalism that many of these guys have without that competitive edge.
Just dump it down there.
Along
there you go.
Boards. There you see it. Boy, they're listening to you, Coach.
Yeah, they are. Barahona has been in the NHL. I think he knows how to play the game.
We are approaching 1 minute remaining in this game. Down by 3. Wilson, a 2-point shot deflects off a body.
And now you see 3 Dog Pack back on defense at all times. 1 guy will be up front. He'll go to the top of the dome zone at best. 3 guys will stay back defensively. You just don't want any cheap goals that are going to give any life.
Volley inside the dome zone. Opportunity here. Fully extended and just missing. James Jensen was out of position. Opportunity for Jocelyn Langlois.
Back down again. Play the role. Oh, that was almost a lucky play. Barahona was on the other side of that ramp. That may have come around somebody had an open net. Not that they need any more goals now, but they can just kill time.
1-point range inside the dome zone. Approaching a half a minute to go.
Pulling the goalie.
Goaltender out. Butters long shot. Bounce high in the air. Comes the rest of the crowd. Look out. Chris Nelson goes careening into the glass.
The ramps can help you. The ramps can also get in your way.
Look at this. Empty net. Back the other way. Ralph Barahona waits. He tries to shoot and rolls one right through the crease. 3 seconds left in the game. And can you believe it? The Dog Pack, erasing a 7-0 deficit, come back to defeat the Gargoyles 12-9. So, Danny, plenty to talk about, plenty to celebrate for Langlois and the Dog Pack. They're a winner here today. We'll be back with a final comment right after these messages. You're watching PBH here on ESPN2. Pro Beach Hockey on ESPN2 has been brought to you by Lee Dungarees, Can't Bust 'em, and by Sam Adams, a better glass of beer. A miraculous comeback for the Dog Pack. 7 points in the third quarter, 5 more in the fourth. En route to a come-from-behind 12-9 victory over the Gargoyles. Welcome back to courtside. Chris Matson alongside Dan Moriarty. And you talk about never say die. What about the attitude of that hockey club?
Pro Beach hockey at its finest. You're down 7-0 at the half. Your leader, Chris Nelson, says, guys, we're doing this all wrong. Let's change what we're doing. Let's just revamp our style. They go to the net. They take the shots, the better angle shots. All of a sudden, they win the game.
Right.
They were on fire.
And you talk about feeding off your leadership. It was Nelson who got the ball rolling on the two-pointer.
Nelson got the ball rolling on the two-pointer. Also, the little guy, the star of the game, the little Berard, Keith Berard.
And you know, Denny, it was Berard who really garnered plenty of attention. At 5'5", Berard illustrated how the little guy can excel in Pro Beach hockey. Here he takes the punishment from the 6'2", 220-pound Andy Rimshaw and still has something to celebrate about. He's standing by with more with our Ellen Weinberg. Ellen?
Thanks, guys. Keith, what an amazing comeback. What happened out there?
The beginning, we just started off slow, and nothing was going our way. We were getting used to the floor, and a lot of guys had a week off, but at the end, we just kind of got our composure back together and started scoring goals.
For you personally, what a game. What do you attribute it to?
My teammates. All my teammates. It's all them.
You got a 2-pointer out there. How fun is it to score 2 points rather than 1 for a goal?
Oh, it's a quick way to 50. a lot better. It adds more excitement to the game. You can always catch up right away like we did.
Well, congratulations on your performance and your team's tremendous comeback today. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
Let's go back to Chris and Dan.
So there you have it. For Ellen Weinberg, Dan Moriarty, I'm Chris Mattson. What a game. Dogpack a winner here today over the Gargoyles. You've been watching the PBA on ESPN, the worldwide leader in